Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janarandana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janarandana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prabhajakacharya Stotara Stota His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananda Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Shri Ganga Maya Ki Shri Yamuna Maya Ki Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 23, verse 57. Sarham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Maya Yardidam Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya Namo Muksheya Bandhanat Sarham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Maya Yardudam Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya Namo Muksheya Bandhanat Sarham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Maya Yardudam Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya Namo Mukshe Bandhanat. Saham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Maya Yadridam Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya Namo Muksheya Bandhanat. Saham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Maya Yadridam Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya Muksheya Bandhanat. Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya Namo Muksheya Bandhanat. Vaishnavis. Saham Bhagavate Nunam Vanchita Maya Yadridam Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya Namo Muksheya Bandhanat. Sa, that very person. Aham, I am. Bhagavataha, of the Lord. Nunam, surely. Vanchita, cheated. Mayaya, by the illusory energy. Durdham, solidly. Yat, because. Tvam, you. Vimuktidam, who gives liberation. Prapya, having attained. Namu Mukshaya, I have not sought liberation. Bandhanat, from material bondage. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My Lord, surely I have been solidly cheated by the insurmountable illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For in spite of having obtained your association, which gives liberation from material bondage, I did not seek such liberation. Please repeat. My Lord, surely I have been solidly cheated by the insurmountable, illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For in spite of having obtained your association, which gives liberation from material bondage, I did not seek such liberation. Purport. An intelligent man should utilize good opportunities. The first opportunity is the human form of life, and the second opportunity is to take birth in a suitable family where there is cultivation of spiritual knowledge. This is rarely obtained. The great opportunity is to have the association of saintly person. Devahuti was conscious that she was born as the daughter of an emperor, yet she was sufficiently educated and cultured, and at last she got Kardama Muni, a saintly person and great yogi, as her husband. Still, if she did not get liberation from the entanglement of material energy, then certainly she would be cheated by the insurmountable illusory energy. Actually, the illusory material energy is cheating everyone. People do not know what they are doing when they worship the material energy in the form of goddess Kali or Durga for material boons. They ask, Mother, give me great riches, give me a good wife, give me fame, give me victory. But such devotees of goddess Maya or Durga do not know that they are being cheated by that goddess. Material achievement is actually no achievement, because as soon as one is illusioned by the material gifts, he becomes more and more entangled, and there is no question of liberation. One should be intelligent enough to know how to utilize material assets for the purpose of spiritual realization. That is called karma yoga or jnana yoga. Whatever we have, we should use as service to the Supreme Person. It is advised in Bhagavad Gita, Swarkarmana tam abhyachara. One should try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's own assets. There are many forms of service to the Supreme Lord, and anyone can render service unto Him according to the best of his ability. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 23rd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Devahuti's Lamentation. Om Jnanatimanandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuvan Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpaturubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So who remembers the title of this chapter? Devahuti's lamentation. We've talked about this a bit in class. What is her lamentation?
She feels like she didn't utilize her time properly.
Yeah.
She should take advantage of her association more. Such an elevated soul. Whatever knowledge I should say.
Exactly. Some people might say she's lamenting because Kardama Muni is about to walk out the door and take sannyas. But she's lamenting because she realizes that she's missed missed a great opportunity. It's like Dhruva Maharaj, he was saying, I was holding broken pieces of glass when this whole time I had this most valuable jewel. And Devahuti was realizing that the whole time she had this valuable jewel, this saintly person that she could have taken association from. Gaining the association of saintly people this should be one of our main goals in life. Larva matra sarusanga sarva siddhihaya. A moment's association with pure devotee is the perfection of all life. It can give perfection. So we're often like this. We can waste our opportunities, waste our time, and then right at the end we think, I should have done this. And then we hope that we can go back and do it again, but sometimes we can't. So we need to take advantage of this in the moment. Srila Prabhupada talks about his first meeting with his spiritual master. Talks about he only met his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, maybe 10 or a dozen times, I think at most. That's correct, isn't it, Prabhu? And he often talks about the first meeting the most. Prabhupada was a Gandhian when he first, well, not when he first came to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada was always Krishna conscious. But when he met his spiritual master, he was a Gandhian, and Bhaktisiddhanta smashed that out of him pretty quick. But Prabhupada says without the association of his Guru Maharaj, even just for those few minutes, he wouldn't have been able to translate the Bhagavatam into English. We see also Narada Muni. It's the great transcendental spaceman. He's always flying around and stirring things up, sort of setting the stage for Krishna's pastimes. He was the son of a maidservant, and during the Chatamas season, the rainy season, for the 4 months, he would gain the association of great saintly people as they'd come to the place where him and his mother were staying. And he was able to hear from them, take their remnants, and take their instruction. And it was because of that he was able to gain his spiritual body. We need to really take these examples seriously and try to gain the association of devotees as much as possible. Now we can argue who's a pure devotee, who's not a pure devotee. But that doesn't matter. That's gaining devotee association. Srila Prabhupada was asked once, how many pure devotees do we have in ISKCON? And Prabhupada said, how many devotees do we have in ISKCON at the moment? And they said 5,000. He said, we have 5,000 pure devotees. Because if we're doing everything for Krishna, then that's pure. should also glorify devotees. It's very important. And today's actually the appearance day of Veda Vyas, who gave us the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should glorify him on this day and every day. When we read Srimad Bhagavatam. Today's also Guru Purnim, which is said the day that we glorify the Guru. But Srila Prabhupada said that Guru Purnim is the day that the impersonalists glorify all of the Gurus. But we should glorify the Guru. We should glorify the Guru several times a day. But we should glorify the Guru on their Vyasa Puja, on their personal appearance day, rather than just all in one day. And today is also the disappearance day of Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami manifested his pastimes in 1588 in Bengal. He was born 5 years before his brother Rupa. And they were born into Brahmana families, Smarta Brahmanas. When they were, Rupa and Sanatana were children, they used to play. Wherever they were, they named their favourite play places after the 12 forests of Vrindavan. And their favourite play places, they'd always name Radhakund and Shamakund. So we could see from very early on they were great devotees, always thinking of Krishna. They were educated classically, but also they received Vedic training, scripture, Sanskrit, and Vedic mantras, rituals. As they grew older, they were known as great scholars. And this came to the attention of the Sultan, the Muslim ruler at the time, Nawab Hussain Shah, who requested them to come and work for the government. Though it wasn't really a request. They couldn't refuse. But Rupa and Sanatana didn't have any interest in that, but they went and did it. It's often said that Rupa and Sanatana became Muslims. But this is more their humility, especially coming from Smarta Paka Brahmana families. It was seen that because they were, as they'd say, they were being maintained by a Muslim government for their livelihood. They were having association with Muslims constantly. So in that sort of culture, that's considered you're basically Muslim. But they were still great devotees. They would hold, Sanatana Goswami would hold Bhagavatam recitations in his home as a grihastha. Have saintly people come over. Sanatana and Rupa, they heard about the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. First is Nimai Pandit, he's this great scholar. And then there's this person who toured South India and came back and was spreading love of Godhead and kirtan throughout Bengal. So they very much desired to meet him. And they would write letters to him, try and get his attention. And of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being Krishna himself, he knew who they were anyway. But he noticed them. And he came to see them. They lived in a place called Ramakeli. And Lord Chaitanya came and saw them there. And they expressed their desire to give up everything and become mendicants, and just live their life like that. But Lord Chaitanya told them to be patient. And he told them the analogy of just like a housewife who has a secret lover. She does her work at home expertly so that no one suspects the whole time that she's thinking of her paramour. So that the way they were instructed, just do your duty. Just bide your time. When Lord Chaitanya left, Rupa Goswami, he eventually decided that he'd had enough of the post and wanted to retire, so he retired. It's famously said that he retired and was so wealthy that he had boatloads of gold. So he left his position and he kept 10,000 gold coins with a market holder, store owner. He divided half of his wealth, which he distributed to the brahmanas. And then took the other half and divided that into two. Half of that he gave to his family, and half of that he kept for his personal maintenance. As he would later teach, that should be our example also. We should use everything we have in Krishna's service, but we need some for maintenance, some to look after those around us. But Sanatana Goswami couldn't get out of his post. He had to stay there, so he basically devised a plan to basically fake sickness, and he just stayed home, and the devotees come round and they study Bhagavatam together and Bhagavad Gita. Eventually the Nawab, he sort of was wondering what was going on, so he sent his personal physician to check it out. His personal physician came back and said that Sanatana had been faking all this time. There's nothing wrong with him. So the Shah had Sanatana put in prison. During this period, Rupa and their brother Anupam had left and gone to Vrindavan, I believe. Or maybe they went to Benares at that point to meet Lord Chaitanya. But Rupa and Sanatana stayed in contact via letters, and Rupa told him, I have these gold coins deposited in the market. So take whatever you need in any way, just get out. So Sanatana, knowing that the prison keepers could be easily corrupted, he took 7,000 gold coins and approached the prison guard and said, I can give you this if you let me free. But Sanatana Goswami is very, very important to the government, so they were keeping a watch on him. the Nawab was just about to try and take over Orissa at the time. And he was sort of hoping that Sanatan would sort of come to his senses and come back and help. But Sanatan said to the prison officer, he said, just because the prison officer said, I can't do it, I'll get punished. He knew they'd probably take his life for it. So Sanatan said to him, just tell him that he took me down to the Ganges to evacuate, and I jumped into the Ganges with my irons on, and that just dragged me down to the bottom. So that and probably the 7,000 gold coins made it sound good to the prison officer. So he did that, and Sanatan Goswami was able to go free. Well, free to a certain extent. Lord Chaitanya had gone up, headed towards Vrindavan. And he was at Prayag, I believe, time. So Sanatan and one of his servant headed up there. But they couldn't go the main road because otherwise they'd get discovered and they'd get arrested and probably killed. So they went all through the forests and over the hills. And they eventually came to a hotel. And the servant of Sanatan Goswami, he'd actually kept some gold coins on him that Sanatan didn't know about. And when they got to the hotel, the innkeeper, who used to use astrologers and things to discern who had money and who he could steal from, and so he was very nice to Sanatan Goswami when he got there. And Sanatan Goswami, having worked in government and understanding duplicity, he could understand that he was basically going to be killed by this innkeeper, and he was going to be robbed. So he said to his servant, "Do you have any gold coins on you?" And he said, "Yes, I have." I think he had 8 gold coins. He said, "Yes, I have 7 gold coins." So he took that off him and he gave it to the innkeeper, and he said, "I know you're going to kill me, so just take the money and we'll go on our way." And he dismissed his servant. He said he knew that he kept that 1 gold coin even. So he said, "You take that 1 gold coin and you go." At the hotel, the innkeeper, he sort of had this change of heart. He admitted that he was going to try and kill him and rob him. But he ended up actually, with that change of heart, helping him get through the jungles and showing him a safer route to get up to, was it Prayag? Benares, I think, yeah. Was it Rupa met him in Benares, and then, yeah. Rupa was Prayag, thank you. So, Sanatan Goswami went up and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him on basically the purpose of life and many things, and its different avatars and incarnations. And then they left. Lord Chaitanya went down to Puri. It was about a year later, Sanatan Goswami headed down there maybe, and he was going to go see his 2 brothers and Lord Chaitanya and spend some time with them down there. And when he got there, Lord Chaitanya let him know that his younger brother had passed away, and that Rupa Goswami had actually gone up to Vrindavan. So Sanatan Goswami stayed in Puri for some time. He often resided with Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur would, he was from a Muslim family, so he didn't go into the temple, the Jagannath Puri temple. He felt himself too fallen. So he would stay at a place and always chant, but he'd always see the chakra on top of the temple. And Lord Chaitanya would come and visit him every day. So Sanatana Goswami was able to get the association. And that's where Lord Chaitanya instructed him. He said, go to Vrindavan and excavate the lost places of Krishna's pastimes. Establish deity worship, establish temples, and write books. So Sanatana Goswami, he left there and went up to Vrindavan. He resided in a place on the hill where the Madan Mohan temple is now in Vrindavan. Obviously before the temple was there. And in the hill one day he found this, he didn't. There was a deity found in the hill one day by a Brahmana family. And said that this deity was worshipped by Krishna's grandson. So the family took the deity and were worshipping, and they would used to, when they would take their meals, they would have the deity sitting at the table with them. When kids went out to play, the deity would jump down off the altar and go and play with the kids. And one day Sanatana Goswami, he saw the kids playing, and he saw one of the boys, and he was like so fixated on him. And so he knew this was no ordinary boy. And the boy headed home one day, and he went into where the temple room was, and Sanatana Goswami went in there. There was no boy. It was just the deity on the altar. So he knew that this was Krishna. This was the Madan Gopal deity. And Sanatana Goswami, he kept going back to there, and he got to know the family. He would beg alms from there. And one day he had a dream, and the deity appeared to him and said, I want to come with you. So Sanatana Goswami went the next day and saw the family, and he said, I had this dream, and Madan Gopal said that he wants to come with me. And the Brahmana that was worshipping him, he said, yes, I also had a similar dream. And he wanted to go with you, so he gave the deity to Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami was a mendicant. He was sleeping under a different tree every night. Still he'd worship the deity. To the best of his ability, he'd beg alms every day and get a little bit of flour, mix it with a little bit of Yamuna water, roll it into balls, throw the balls in the fire. Basically have cooked flour, and he'd offer that to his deity. One day he had another dream, and Madan Gopal said to him, you worship me very nicely, but the family used to treat me so well. They used to feed me so opulently. And how about a little bit of salt in the flour balls? And Sanatana Goswami said to him, you know who I am. You know what I have. I have nothing. Today you ask for salt, tomorrow you'll ask for ghee. He said, I can't do it. He said, if you want more opulence, then you'll have to make your own arrangement. So not long after that, there was a boat came down the Yamuna. It was carrying gold and jewels and a lot of salt. And the boat got stuck on the embankment. And the boat captain came off, and his name was Ramdas Kapoor. And so he tried to solicit help from the people of Vrindavan, and one boy came up and said, I know the perfect person. He solves all our problems around here. So he took the boatman to see Sanatana Goswami. And he said, if you help me free my boat, I'll give you, he said, ended up saying, the profits that I get from the sale of the soul, I'll give you all that profit. So Sanatana Goswami said, just go pray to my deity, ask him for help. So Ramdas Kapoor went and prayed to the deity, and later that day the rains came and the Yamuna raised, and the boat came unstuck. The boatman left, and a couple of weeks later came back and gave the profits from the sale of his soul to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami used that to build the first temple in Vrindavan, the Madan Mohan temple. And then not long after that, I'm not sure of the origin of the Radha deity that was given, but Krishna always likes to be worshipped with Radharani. So Sanatana Goswami actually renamed the deity, so then Madan Mohan. And at this point he established the deity worship, was training people. But he said to Madan Mohan, I love doing this service, I love you very much, but if I stay here and just worship you, then I'm not fulfilling the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I have to go excavate these places of the pastimes and write books. How can I write the books if I'm worshipping you every day? So Madan Mohan gave him permission, and he left and he went and did that. Went to Govardhana. It's said that Sanatana Goswami would circumambulate Govardhana hill every day. It's 22 kilometers around, so he'd do that. But as he got older, he found it very difficult. I'm not that old, and I find it very difficult. So one day a little boy appeared and gave him a Govardhan Shila. And had Krishna's footprint in it, and the imprint of his cane. And the boy said, just worship this Govardhan Shila, and every day circumambulate the Shila 4 times. That is non-different from circumambulating Govardhan Hill. So Sanatana Goswami did that for the rest of his days. Sanatana Goswami, he gave us some of our great Vaishnava literature. There's two prominent works. One is the Bhagavatam, which you speak to K.K. Prabhu, he'll happily tell you all about. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. And he also gave us Hari Bhakti Vilas, which teaches everything from waking in the morning and brushing your teeth to deity worship to celebrating festivals to basically all our philosophy, all of our daily rituals. Sanatana Goswami's pastimes became unmanifest in 1558. It's said that everyone in Vrindavan was devastated when he left. He was such a beloved Vaishnava. So we should always try and hear these pastimes. Try and absorb the mood of the devotees. Try and associate with the devotees. Sanatana Goswami ki. So I should probably leave it there, but if anyone has any questions or corrections and comments, are welcome. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's a Sambandha Acharya, and Madan Mohanditi is actually the Sambandha, the deity for Sambandha Gyan. And he's that because when he met Lord Chaitanya, he asked him, who am I? And why do I suffer in this material world? So Lord Chaitanya, he imparted that knowledge to him, that there's the Sambandha Gyan, knowledge of who we are, knowledge of Krishna, the knowledge of the material world around us. Sambandha is our foundation. Yeah. Is anything else? Yes, Baruch. As you said, in the West, a lot of people, especially in the West, this is a very different concept. We're used to a lot of impersonalism. We're used to believing, or you hear a lot of people saying that it's just the universe is in charge, the energy's in charge. I remember when I was given a book when I was 17 by one of my friends. It was The Science of Self-Realization. And reading in that, growing up I was trying to be very religious and had always had those interests, but there always seemed to be something missing. And when I read The Science of Self-Realization, Srila Prabhupada would talk about the personal form of the Lord. And people can understand relationships, with our family, with our friends, things like that. And God is everything, God has a personal form. And one of the ways that we can connect with Krishna is through the deity form, so we can understand his person. We can look at him and we can can see his smiling face, and see his beautiful eyes, and understand that we're actually connecting with the person. So even if they don't have that full understanding that that is not different from Krishna, they may even see just as a representation. You know, it's said if we see the deity as marble, then he will remain marble. But, you know, if we give them the books, if we give them the chanting, if we give them prasadam, you know, over time, they can come to see. But, yeah, you just keep it light at first, you know. Just introduce them to the person. Krishna is a person. And the realization will come later on. Is that okay? Anyone else? Yes, Mataji? Mm. Shanti Paraya Prabhu yesterday was talking about we have to scratch beneath the surface. We have to become personal with devotees, just like saying we have to become personal with Krishna. And our nature is a servant. So if we serve devotees, you know, humbly serve, but with a sincere mood, not just serving so we can look like a servant, so we can look like we're, you know, just so we can maybe get what we want or what we think, you know. If we serve sincerely, then that association will come, because people can see sincerity. In the ashram, we eat breakfast together every day, and it's amazing seeing the transformations. Like, we serve each other every day. We'll wash each other's plates. We'll serve each other food. And it makes the relationship so much sweeter. So, yeah, just try to do like that. Try to serve. Thank you. Anything else? Srila Prabhupada ki? Jai.